And 3, 2. Hey everybody, welcome back, welcome back. Oh guys, well we're going to go into talking about dating a trans today. That's right. This is a request actually from a listener, a follower I have. And yeah, we're going to talk about this because this is a very interesting one, I think. Because it's all based on everybody judging people, right? And it's weird because there's a lot of fear about somebody dating a trans, right? At the same time, people judge others if they're, quote, gay. Or this is what we think. As in other words, I'm not a gay man. I'm not into trans people. All right? Let's just clear this up right now that, okay, where I'm coming at with this. But I'd tell you one thing. I would stand up and support any trans person out there, any gay, lesbian, other genders, whatever you're calling yourselves. You know, at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of this gender pronoun stuff. You might have heard one of my episodes where we were talking about that, right? And we're talking about the same type of thing here as well. Because a lot of people are calling themselves different genders these days, right? And you know what? Fine. Fair enough. Like, call yourself whatever the fuck you want. If you want to be called asshole, alright? Like, I'm not trying to be smart now, but let's just say, if you wanted to be called, hi, I'm Mr. Asshole, please call me by Mr. Asshole, Peter. Well, do you know what? Okay, I'll call you by Mr. Asshole. Like, I'm not judging you, and you know why? Because I know what judging's all about, and this is where this trans thing comes in. Judging is judging yourself, and you're basing it off, you're comparing yourself against the person you're, quote, technically judging. So, we're going to go into it a little bit further. Oh, before I get it going, oh, Jesus, lads, I swear to God. Out for Paddy's weekend, I'm still dying. My eyes are swollen and, oh, good Lord. I shouldn't be allowed to drink at all, I tell you. I swear to God. If you're watching me on YouTube, you're probably looking at, look at the state of that fella. And you'd be right. You'd be very right, Jesus. Okay, so where do we start with this? So basically, guys, where this came from is, like I was saying, I have a follower who's a trans person. And I've actually tried to help this trans person out now, trying to get a date on my TikTok and Facebook, etc. And now, I have to admit, I was thinking now, right, that the person would get slated, right, ripped apart. Okay, because the person asked me, hey, Peter, could you ask people what your thoughts on trans people are, right? And what else was there? Oh, Jesus. Sorry, now, I can't remember exactly what the person asked me to ask. Like, what is the issue with it, right? And I was thinking, you know, the way social media is now. I'm not saying coming from me. I'm saying the way people trash each other for anything on social media these days. I was thinking, oh, there could be a bit of a backlash in this one. But you know what? I said, I don't give a fuck. It's my account. You can report me all you want. All I'm asking is a question. And I don't judge. I don't give a fuck. You know? It's like the gender pronoun thing. If you want to be called asshole, jerk off, dipshit, whatever you want to be called, I'll call you by that. Because that's your entitlement. That's your right. Right? Or if you want to be called Dave and you're a woman, well, so what? Fine. Off you go. I'll call you whatever you want. I'll call you by Dave. You know? It's anyway. So I asked, and in fairness, there was a lot of reaction came back. A lot of people did say, no, I wouldn't be into it. And that was actually kind of it. So, you know, guys, if there is trans people out there and you're listening to this, right? Like, I actually think you're okay. You'll find someone. Right? Like, I'm going to go into about the judging and the psychology of the judging, right? Now, I'm no psychologist. Let's just make sure here. I'm no fucking expert here, all right? But I have studied a lot on this. And the way I look at judging is that, for instance, there is a local bar now where I live close to. And I won't mention the name. But every now and then, mostly on a Saturday night, that if I go down there, there's this trans person with a man and they go on dates. Right? And, you know, I have to admit myself, okay? I will admit it myself. When I first saw them, I went, oh, Okay, kind of weird, right? Kind of a little bit weird, like, geez. But after about 30 seconds, I went, Peter, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong. Who gives a damn? It's not impacting my life. And I went, yeah, grand, whatever. And actually, it went from just a little weird, not judging, a little weird, to, Jesus, do you know what? I really respect the two of them. I mean, these people are kind of heroes in a way. And I'm not joking you. Like, they don't give a shit what anybody thinks of them in the bar. And like, these people will be regulars now going into this bar, right? And you know what? I genuinely, after a while, I'm like, you know what, man? I gotta admit, I even remember turning to one of my friends one night. I went, you know what, man? I gotta admit, I fucking love their balls. Not if it even is called balls. If it's, just not giving a fuck. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. They are looking out for themselves, and not in a selfish way, right? They're not hurting anybody. They're not hurting not one person in the bar. And if anybody turns around and says, I don't want to be putting up with this. This is ridiculous. I'm coming for a peaceful drink. You can go fuck off. You're just judging yourself. And you're turning it into major drama. Like, end of the day, if anybody is sitting there judging them, are you really going to go home that night, have a sleepless night and go, oh my God, I can't believe what I saw in the bar. That's disgusting, or whatever you're going to call it, right? Like, are you really going to have a lack of sleep? Bullshit. You're going to sleep just fine. And here's the thing about judging, right? Is that when people technically, quote, judge you for whatever you do. I mean, you could have a really shitty haircut, right? And everybody's judging you in the bar. Or you could dress like crap and everybody's judging you. Like, the best way to get over judging is actually put yourself out there. Seriously. Like, what was it the other night? Now, okay, I can't compare trans versus this comparison, right? But give me a little bit of rope here now, lads, right? Like, the other night, I had two ridiculous pair of socks on. I had like this really short sock, dark green. It's a disgusting thing. You couldn't wear this out in public. And then I had a big black navy one, I think, or was it a black sock? Or not a big black navy one, a navy one. And they looked horrendous on me. And do you know what I did? Like, most people would never ever dream of posting up a photo online on their Facebook. And I made a joke into it. Right? Now, believe me, I'm not comparing trans to socks, okay? Right? Just so you're wondering, what the fuck is he talking about here, like? But the point is this. We should be able to, to sort of have a bit of a laugh over ourselves. Or, God only knows how many people judge me like, look at the state of him now in his socks. Really? And he's posting it up online. Oh, is he looking for attention? What's he up to? I didn't look for attention. I did it to just keep myself humble. I hope I'm making sense here, guys. And it was funny. It was funny. Now, okay. When we talk about trans, when people are technically judging you, what they're actually doing is they're judging themselves. Now, if you think about that, I've got a really good point here. They're judging themselves because it's about them at the end of the day. Okay, what I'm trying to say is they're comparing you, let's say in this case, the trans person, right? So let's say, you're in a bar tonight and you see a trans person and a man having a date, right? And they don't give a fuck. You're comparing them versus you. You're not judging them versus your buddy, right? And look, everybody's been there to some degree that you kind of go, oh, well, jeez, I'm not like that. Because that's the first thing you say to yourself. Like, geez, well, I'm not into trans people, or I'm not gay, or I'm not lesbian, or I'm not straight, or whatever, right? And all of a sudden, for about 5 milliseconds, you feel great about yourself because you're not the one getting judged, right? Now, what does that say about you? It's not about the person. It's not about the trans person. It's about you feeling better about yourself. So it's about you because you're judging yourself, and now finally you've got somebody to judge and they look worse off than you in your stupid head. Okay, and let's be honest, I've been there as well before, all right? So I've got a stupid head too, if that's the case. But that's who you're basing yourself off. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper here, and I hope I'm not going to try and depress anybody. Like Jordan Peterson says, and everybody, hopefully you've heard of Jordan Peterson, brilliant psychologist, and these aren't my words, these are his words, right? He said that we all have a monster in us. Yes, we do. The aggressive, dark side of us, right? Now, we all have a dark side when it comes to sex too, to some degree. Okay, we like, a little bit of kinky stuff here and there, and, whatever it is, right? Okay? And that would be technically our dark side. We don't just have the sheets straight and everything's fine and we just go on missionary position and have sex and that's what we're done. No. Some of us can get a bit fucking wild in bed, right? Yes, we can. So that's our dark side, so to speak. Now, I'm going to go even deeper. We're going to get off the sort of the trans and the sex part. Jordan Peterson said, if we were back in Nazi Germany, back in World War II days. Now, give me some rope on this one, guys. He said, if you were a German resident, German, living in Germany, and he said that when the war came along, he said, do you really think you would have been one of those good Nazis? In other words, the chances are most of us, not everybody, most of us would have signed up as a Nazi and killed women and children and men. Now, I know we're getting very dark and heavy here now, guys, and I apologize. But I'm not going to go on too much about this. But put it this way, guys. There would have been an extremely big, good chance that we would have become one of those Nazis. Okay? So we all have a monster or a dark side in us. And we have to embrace that monster. We just don't use it. This is Jordan Peterson's words. And he's brilliant. He's absolutely right. And I mean, that can shock you to the core. Thinking, Jesus, would I have done this? And you guys, you should check it out. I think you can even YouTube it. Like it's, Jordan Peterson monster in us or something. But, put in Jordan Peterson monster. They're the key words. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And you know what, guys? It can, that can kind of shake you. But it can also, it can give you strength. You don't go around acting a monster. You're a controlled monster. Even Jordan Peterson says, it's like the black belt in karate. All right? Or taekwondo or whatever. Okay? Technically, yeah, that person could probably beat you up, let's say. But you don't go around beating everybody up. You use it for defense. Right? So you're a trained monster, so to speak. I know it's dark and heavy, but back to the trans part, we all have a dark side in us. There could be a lot of, there can be. There is a lot of people out there that are attracted to trans people. So fuck it. Fuck everybody. Fuck their opinion. If you want to be with a trans person, be with a trans person. Now look, hey, I'm not into trans people, by the way. Okay? I'm not gay. I'm perfectly straight. But you know what? I'm not judging them. And in fact, I think a lot of the times when somebody would judge a trans person or, oh, look at that, that's terrible behaviour. Oh my God, how dare them? Or, if they're against gay people, chances are the people that bitch and moan the most are into trans people, they're actually gay. Because, guys, if you're out there and you're straight, what fucking problem is it to me? Okay? I've been in a gay bar every now and then, okay? Because I had an ex-girlfriend, or, I don't know, just the way the night went, you're like, hey, right? But I've been in there, and I've never been with a man hooked up in there, ever. And you know what? I've had men crack onto me, yes. But you know what? I wasn't getting disgusted. I wasn't putting my head down in shame. Oh, how dare them. My God, this is crazy. Carry on. Because I'm just not into them. I remember even I have a couple of gay friends, and I remember one of my friends had another gay guy along, right? He was a friend of theirs. So I know this kind of guy. Met him a few times. And I don't know how we actually got even talking about this. But we got on talking about Oh, I'm trying to remember now. It was something like, what's the problem with gay stuff? Like gay things or something like this, right? And even when the conversation came up, I was like, Jesus, how the hell did we get onto this conversation? You know? Um, so anyway, I just turned around and I said to the friend of a friend, I said, you know what? I don't see the problem with the gay thing. When people put their head down on it, I don't see the problem because at the end of the day, it's like I'm into, let's say, black girls, right? I think black girls can be gorgeous, right? They probably would be my favorite. Now, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. Tough shit. Good luck. Go away. Right? However, other men not every man would be into black women then, right? They might be into Asian or they might be into white women, but whatever, right? Either way, who gives a shit? But the point is this, and I said to this gay guy, I said, I just think, look, the gay thing is a preference. Like, my preference is black women. And he went, huh, go on. And I went, well, look, yeah, that's the way I look at it. Like, it's just a preference. A man who's gay, he just happens to, his preference is women, or men, right? So he prefers men, and that's the only one. So it would be like me turning around saying I'm only into black women, which I'm not, but it would just be me saying I'm only into black women. And sure, so what if I am? You're gonna sleep okay tonight, let me tell you, if you hear about that. You're gonna sleep just fine. For God's sake. So, like, isn't it just a preference? Like, I'm trying to figure this stuff out too, guys, why people have a problem with trans and stuff. I'm trying to figure this out. What is the actual problem? I don't see a problem. Isn't the relationship dating hard enough right now? Aren't you going to be judged if you do come out with the worst haircut the world's ever seen, or you have this, I don't know, clothes, pants that's just horrendous, even though you thought it looks good, but everybody else is like, oh my God, look what he's wearing. Aren't you going to be judged anyway? Like, we have to think about that. And you know what, guys? I'm putting my hands in the air. I should have come onto social media a long time ago. But I suffered with people judging me. So believe me, I ain't some fucking expert. I just figured this out along the way here. And I hope to God none of you make the same mistakes I made by waiting and stalling. Isn't the relationship world, like, guys, if you've seen my social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you've seen some of the horror stories that are coming in. So, like, if you're a straight person or if you're a gay man, it's fucking hard to meet somebody right now. People are still wound up over coronavirus and they're just not themselves. It's so bloody hard to meet somebody right now. So if you're into trans, fuck me, in my opinion. Fuck everyone else's opinion. In fact, the way I look at it these days, it's selfish to judge people. And you're not even judging them anyway. You're judging yourself because you're comparing you versus them. And that's the only way you can technically, quote, judge here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that helps anybody out there that's into trans. Screw everybody's opinion. Yeah, just screw them. Anyway, guys, listen, thanks for listening. And I'll be back. Love you guys. Bye.